Right, this is a random one, isn't it? A Subaru Impreza Sti Cosworth. This is actually real. This is not something I've made up. I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know they existed. That's really bad, I know. But this is actually called a CS400 Cosworth, and it's my latest purchase. And in today's video, I'm going to do the usual thing. I'm going to show you around it, and then we'll go out for a little drive. All right, so let's get on with the intro.
Mobbing with my brothers, there's no question, keep it real. Whether we East Coastin' or we in the hidden hills, in the poppin' straps of blue faces, not the pills. Heard you callin' bluffs, I show and prove it, it's for real. Son of God, not a son of Sam. Keep it off the books and keep it coming in. Bitch, the OFC, what I'm coming in. The inside caramel just like 100 grand. Call my phone, hit my line. Only ones who down for real, down for life. Keep it super thug my way on this side. Keep it super thug my way on this side.
Cosworth. I think this is the first Cosworth that I've had on my channel. This isn't, in my opinion, the iconic Cosworth, because in my opinion, the one that we all know and love is, well, I suppose there's two, the Escort Cosworth and the Sierra Cosworth, yeah? I grew up in the 90s, so they put a huge stamp on my childhood, and they were extremely special things. But it is rare to see Cosworth team up with any other brand on the market, and it's nice to see it on a Subaru. Now, I mentioned that I actually didn't know that these existed. This is number 41 of 75 cars sold in the UK, so it's a proper rare thing, and it's got a hell of a lot going for it. So what they've done is, what Cosworth done is they got a Subaru Impreza Sti, and before it went to the market, they let me just show you under the bonnet. Actually, let's we'll talk about the interior in a sec. As I go in here, you'll see little cheeky little bits like that as well, but we won't do that just yet. We'll get under the bonnet. And one thing that's strange straight away about this bonnet is you open it, yeah, and Japanese cars generally you need an arm to hold the bonnet up. This has got hydraulic struts, which is pointless information, but it's a flat 4 engine, which is like the traditional Subaru thing. So the head of the engine, they're not too attractive under the bonnet, I don't think. A lot of people will hopefully agree with me, and that's basically because the sort of top of the engine as such, or where we'd normally see the top of the engine, is on each side, yeah. They make a lovely sound, really nice thing, but a standard STI engine is 315 bhp. This engine has been forged, fully forged by Cosworth. 1 second, what's going on? Someone trying to make loads of noise over there, we'll ignore that. It's been fully forged by Cosworth, and it's now running 400 bhp. Look, nice little Cosworth badge there. There's little Cosworth hints all over it. I'm going to use the word Cosworth a lot in this video, by the way, so don't get bored of it. Enjoy. 400 bhp. They also done a few other bits to it, right? They've got these lightweight wheels. They look like Team Dynamic wheels, but I don't think they are, because Team Dynamic's usually got like a little stamp somewhere on the outside. Nice set of wheels, definitely suit the car. AP racing brakes with a little Cosworth stamped on the calipers there. And what else are we going to show you? So the STI obviously is the top of the range one. I love that, by the way. Just a little like indent in the body there to give it that sort of width. Yeah, that's a really nice little feature. 4 exhausts at the bottom, another Cosworth badge at the back, again highlighting the car that you're driving, and from that stance there it looks really nice. It's obviously a hatchback. I don't think the Cosworths come as a saloon, but again I really like that. I love a little sports hatch, 400 brake. It's got it all going for it. So if we jump on the inside, bit more excitement here. You've just seen the seats, yeah, Cosworth seats, nice little stitch badge on the seat there. It's obviously a 5-door car, my camera bag in the back, nice little cozy little leather seats in the back as well, nice. And as you come on the inside, you're reminded in some places that you are in an STI. Started off life as an STI, we've got a 6-speed manual gearbox, but you're also reminded again that this is not a normal STI, it's a Cosworth STI. So let's spin the camera around. Sorry, change the subject quickly, but you know, like when you get your car cleaned, yeah, and it's like birds. We think birds are stupid. They're not stupid. I'm on about flying birds, yeah, not human birds. They ain't so bad, to be honest with you, but birds that fly, they seem to just wait for you to clean your car, don't they, and then just shower your car. Because just now we cleaned a load of cars at the site, and soon after a big flock of birds just came along and just showered all of my cars with bird poo. Very annoying. And this car was in the firing line, so as you can see it's nice and clean, but if you spotted little signs of bird poo here and there, yeah, another one just over there. Yeah, that's not because I was complacent with making this car look good for this video, it's because the birds attacked me. But so much to say about this car. It's a very, very special thing. I'm very happy to have it in my life. Like I said, I didn't know they existed, but I'm quite glad now I know that they exist. I've done a lot of Japanese car content lately, so it's very much in theme with the whole Japanese stuff that's going on at the minute. So, but what we're going to do is we're going to get my camera set up and jump out on the roads. Wow, so much going on at the minute, so busy. Filmed 2 videos today, or would have done by the time this video is finished. Start the engine. What a nice sound that is, isn't it? Just a lovely sort of purr from a 4-cylinder engine. That's unbelievable. 2.5 litre, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned that. Fully forged engine. My Cosworth. What was I going to say? I was about to say something. I can't bloody remember. Should we just hit the roads? Yeah, just hit the roads. See, I've just read a review online about this car, and it was extremely negative. And I read it, I was like, and I drove it before I'd read that review. And I'm not going to say the name of the company that done the review, but it was poor, really poor. And I read it, I thought, is this even the same car they're talking about? I was like quite shocked, and it seemed like there's a bit of a bitterness there. But anyway, this video is going to be the complete opposite attitude to that, because I really, really like this car, and so far you can see a lot of reasons why, but even as I drive it, you'll see even more why, right? Before I drove this car, my brother Leon, who's my business partner, I mentioned that a lot in videos, it was actually him that dealt with buying this car off of the customer, right? The customer's come along, they'd offered to sell his car, and Leon had dealt with him, right? Leon drove it before I did, and he explained that we've got this nice car coming in, and told me about it. Obviously, I was well excited to know that this is going to be arriving soon. And he drove it and said to me, Calvin, you're going to be so impressed with this car when you drive it. Now, I've actually had an STI Subaru before of this era, and I didn't rate it that much. Don't want to be too negative. Very nice car, ticked a lot of boxes, just felt like it was lacking a bit of power, I would say, right? And I kind of expected this would just be a slightly better version of that. I got in the driver's seat of it this morning with very low expectations, thinking it's going to be alright. As I walked up to it, I thought, I'm quite impressed with the way that looks. I then see all the badges and stuff everywhere. I thought, this is actually alright, isn't it? Got in it, thought, I like this. And Japanese cars kind of pull off not being like Mickey Mouse, you know, like you get in a French car, not criticising. Everything's got its price, I suppose, and pound for pound, value for money. French cars are cheap, but they're not high quality, are they? And you know, Japanese cars aren't either. But for some strange reason, Japanese cars just pull it off, and I don't know why that is. You kind of get into a Japanese car and you make excuses for it. Well, I do anyway. So, like, for example, the seat doesn't go back far enough to cater for a human of my size, but it doesn't matter because it's Japanese. It's allowed to do that, right? So as I got in it, I drove down the road in it, got it warm because I love my cars more than anybody else does, and I like to get my engine warm before I cane the arse out of it, and I drove it down the road. Bit of turbo lag, I'm going to warn you about turbo lag. Subarus or single turbo 4-cylinder cars suffer generally with turbo lag. Again, I'm making excuses for the car, yeah? It's fine. Then you get the turbo kicking at about 3,500 revs. I'm just giving it a little tickle at the minute, just to give you a taster for what it's like, right? And when that turbo comes in, so we've got a forged engine, a bigger turbo. We'll talk about that stuff in a minute. Let's put a foot down. Honestly, it's like a bloody rally car, and it is. It's sorry I swore there. It is a rally car. You can feel that this is a rally derived, road going rally car. That's exactly what it is, and you can feel it as you drive it. You feel so, it feels nimble, it feels capable, it feels light, it feels very light. Honestly, it is absolutely brilliant, and the way that you just feel like, I want to go on a track in this car. I want to get this car on track. It's not going to happen because I'm too bloody busy. I would love to get this car, even just drive across that field in it. I would love to just drive it across that field right now. It feels like, I don't ever feel like that about a car. I don't ever feel like I want to get in a car and drive it through a bloody field. But this car feels like it's made to do that. It's a 50-50 four-wheel drive split, so we've got the same amount of power going to all four wheels, which is different to a German car. The way it just lifts up, lifts off, takes off, should I say, that's probably a better use of word. It's unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. So my low expectations this morning, yeah, my low expectations were soon proved completely wrong when I drove this car, because it is absolutely brilliant. Honestly, it is that good. So something else that sprung to mind is after I read this review online, this negative review. Is 0-60 apparently in 3.7 seconds, but I don't really care. That's a crazy amount of speed. That's a great time to 60. But do you know what? You don't really consider speed or power numbers when you're driving this car. You just get out of it and feel like you just had a right laugh of a time. But yeah, what I was going to say, I'm going off tracks mentally, my mind's all over the place at the minute, positively, in a great way. Not got coronavirus yet, might have by the time this video goes live. But the review, back to the review, right? They're saying that all this stuff went into this car and it's all a bit over the top, and in defense to this negative review, right, they talk about the price of the car, okay? And the price of this car when it was new was £50,000. That is too much money. Now, if I got offered a car of this caliber, brand new, from Subaru, when their normal STI was something like, I don't know, 15 or I think more than that, £1,000 cheaper, and they said, so you can have this car for another £17,000 or whatever the exact number is, I can't bloody remember. I'd be like, mate, you're having a laugh. That's ridiculous. But on the news market, on the new car market, that is a lot of money. On the used market right now, the cheapest one of these advertised, I still haven't got to the point where I'll get into it, I've gone off tracks again, but I'll get to that in a minute. The cheapest one of these cars advertised right now is £27,000, right? There's two of them that I can find advertised. They're both silver, and which I don't think is as nice as the colour, personally, that's just personal preference. And they're both done higher mileage, right? This has done 51,000 miles. So right now is a fantastic time to buy one of these cars. Genuinely not trying to sell it to you, because I've got a strong feeling it'll be sold by the time this video goes live. But going back to the review, which is where I started talking, third gear, loads of boost, strong boost. If you are your average Subaru Impreza buyer, yeah, which your average Subaru Impreza buyer is someone that wants a car with a bit of performance, yeah? Your dream, your dream is a petrol head. Any normal petrol head wants to tune their car, yeah, and do stuff to it and make it perform better, right? Anyone, including most of you watching this video right now, if you jumped in this car, or if you could, what you would do to your own car right now is you would forge the engine, right? You would also change the turbocharger to give it more power. You'd also change the brakes and the suspension. You'd maybe put Bilstein dampers and Eibach springs on it, wouldn't you? And you might even change the clutch on it, because to help it go through the gears a bit better, yeah? All of that's been done on this car, which means that this car is basically a Subaru Impreza Sti, which is a phenomenally good car, although I don't rate them that highly. They are the top of the range Subaru available. Not just a Subaru Impreza Sti, but an absolutely perfected, modified and finished Subaru Impreza Sti by an amazing company like Cosworth. What's negative about this car? Seriously. Yeah, I admit, I didn't know they existed. When I knew they existed, I was shocked. I thought this is going to be quite an interesting thing. And now that I've driven one and owned one, I think, you know what? Anyone who owns one of these cars right now in the whole car market, there is people out there, another 74 of them, some of them might even watch this video. You've bought a seriously special thing, and I am very proud to say that I've had one of these cars in stock. It'll probably never happen again, but do you know what? It was never on the bucket list. Had I discovered it existed, it would have gone on the bucket list, and now that car on that bucket list has got a big tick next to it. So yeah, it's got my approval. I'm going to stop banging on now because I've done a lot of that in this video, but Subaru Impreza Sti Cosworth CS400, says that on the logbook as well, which is extremely impressive. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked my video. If you did like my video, hit like. If you're new to my channel, hit subscribe. New video every Wednesday and Sunday at 6 o'clock. And give me a follow on Instagram. I have a little nose in my daily life, yeah, on Instagram, at Calvin's Car Diary. And look out for plenty more fun cars. Probably not quite as exciting as this, but there's lots going on, alright? I'll see you in my next video. Bye. In the next episode of Diary of a Car Trader, I've bought another Japanese car. This one is a Nissan 370Z. That video is going to be live on Sunday at 6 o'clock.